car. Okay, well, I didn't used to always be able to say that. Well, I guess I could say it. I mean, I just said it now. But I didn't always feel it. And I didn't always believe it. But I remember the exact day that I felt it. And it was July 1st of 2014. It was the day that I got my big promotion. And this wasn't just a bump in pay, like an increase in my salary. It meant something for me. Because when I started in this company 7 years earlier, I was a different person. I was quiet and reserved. I didn't rock the boat. I didn't raise my hand in meetings. I didn't really say anything. But luckily, I had an amazing group of managers, female managers, women. And they weren't just women, they were mentors. They were role models. They were women that really helped me to become the woman I am today. They're the ones that helped me to get that promotion. So when I got my big promotion, I wanted to celebrate in a really big way. So I didn't call my husband, go home and have a nice celebratory dinner. I didn't text my friends or email my coworkers, no. I immediately left the office in the middle of the day, got in my car, and I drove. I drove right over to my local Dodge dealership because this was going to be the day that I got my big promotion and I bought my dream car. Now, Jackie 7 years ago would not have gone to a car dealership and buy a car on my own. I would have gone with my husband or maybe my dad, probably both, but not this Jackie. This Jackie went on her own to the Dodge dealership to buy a car. And when I walked into the dealership, I walked right up to the first sales guy and I said, I want to buy a car. And not just any car, I want a red car. And I wanted to have heated seats and shiny rims. And I wanted to have a sound system that boomed. And when you push the start button on this car, I wanted it to growl. Not growl. I wanted it to roar. So the sales guy immediately tried to sell me a red Chrysler 300. And I said, right color, but wrong car. And not today, my friend. So after about 4 hours of arguing and fighting and negotiating, as I was walking out the door, around the corner came the owner with a brand new red Charger. My red Charger. And I was so excited to get my new car. And I got in my car and I started to drive home. And at this point, it was after work, so I was in rush hour traffic. And I started to think about my brand new car purchase. And I thought, well, maybe I should have asked my husband before I traded in my really great fuel-efficient economy car to buy this really expensive sports car. Maybe I should have got my first paycheck to see what my raise was going to be, to see if it was going to cover the car payment on this new car. And I started to panic. I really started to panic. And I knew that I hadn't been driving this car long enough to be able to drive in this mental state. So I pulled over on the side of the road and I lost it. And I said, Jackie, how did you get here? How did you end up here today? Where did you go? And then I thought about where I came from, how I got here today. And I thought back to 7 years ago when I started this job, and I thought about myself in the conference room. And I thought, you know, I used to bite my tongue, hold my breath, scared to rock the boat, didn't want to make a mess. I just sat there quietly, agreeing politely with everybody around me. I guess you could say I didn't really have a voice. I let everybody push me way past my breaking point. I stood for absolutely nothing. And as a result, I pretty much fell for everything. People held me down, they really did, but it was this group of women that told me I could get back up. And I did, I got up. And it took me 7 years to brush off the dust. And now, when people are in meetings with me, they hear me. They hear my voice, they hear my sound. And when I talk, it is like thunder shakes the ground. Because Jackie, today, I have the eye of the tiger. I'm a fighter. I'm a champion. And God damn it, you're going to hear me roar. And that's exactly what I did. I pulled my head out of my ass. I got in my car. I put my foot on the gas, and I drove 60 miles an hour to the front of my house. I put all 4 windows down. I let the Alpine blast, and I stood there in front of my house blasting Katy Perry Roar. And I stood there, and my husband came out the front door, and he looked at me, and he took one look, and he knew. He knew I had gotten my promotion, but he knew so much more. He knew that I had found myself, that I had found my voice. And I commemorated that day by getting a novelty license plate, and it says roar. Actually, there's 3 O's. It doesn't say roar. It says roar. And that license plate's not for any of you. It's for me. It's for every day that I leave the office and I feel bad. I feel down. I feel like I've spoke for 8 hours, but I haven't said a word. And when I walk out to the parking garage and I see my car and I see that license plate, it reminds me of my voice. It reminds me of who I am as a woman. It reminds me that I am woman. And you will hear me roar. Thank you.